The high-use is disolartica are not tolerant to relative raw dirt or organic waste. They are least altogether again tolerant to organic population. Euglena, Acylatoria, Glandiomonas, Canadaceus, Chlorella, Lycia, Navicula, and Diuclonium. This indicates that Mariana has a lot of algae with high tolerant organic pollution. Terima kasih. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The moderator to give me the second time to present my presentation. Okay. My presentation is about agenda and composition of macrozoobenthos in Lubuk Ampang Foodplain, South Sumatra. Author Suananda Darlewandari and Yoga Chandra Vidya. Introduction. Lubuk Ampang Foodplain water has a main characteristic that has the chemical properties of water are slightly acidic. Macrozoobenthos is an organism that lives in the sediment bottom of any water body that is usually relatively difficult to move or migrate. One benthic organism tolerant that can grow and multiply in poor water conditions, and they usually most suffer organism when water body is polluted. Macrozoobenthos is significant importance on food chain as decomposers and first consumers first in aquatic ecosystem. From 0.4 mass on May 2013 was the highest class Oligochaeta. Macrozoobenthos diversity index, its action was between 0 until 1.557 on Mars and May 0 until 1.364 on May. Temperature conditions were relatively uniform with average of 29 degrees Celsius. Okay, thank you for your attention.
Karim, I have no institution now. I would like to ask to Mr. Ali. On your conclusion, you state that they have a significant relationship water temperature with ichthyoplankton abundance. Could you explain more about this phenomenon? Do you think the increasing water temperature causing fish going to spawn? Thank you.
First question for Mr. Ali, and then second question for Safety Solution. For one sector, one question, it's not to help the question from Mr. Abdul Ghafar, but I more than look about the formulas that you saw in this presentation. So you have the formulas of the presentation in regression formula. Regression in regression side. Do you have any P for constant star? It's mine, and then all of this coefficient and then this formula, what that it means? Can you explain to me? Okay, for the second question from Safety Solution, talk about therapeutic can be used as bioindicator for change the environmental quality caused by pollution. So, in the conclusion, you have reached dominance on both 0.22 and 0.89. It's best the reference is mine domination, high domination. So, could you explain more about that? So, why this variable can be used by bioindicators. Maybe this is the question from me. Thank you. Saya jawab dalam bahasa Indonesia. Mohon maaf, saya jawab dalam bahasa Indonesia dan Pak Farouk. Ini sudah melakukan penelitian dengan menggunakan program SPSS, di mana semua faktor yang kita teliti, yaitu plankton, kemudian pH, TSS, kecerahan, DO, nitrit, nitrat, amonia, total fosfat. Plankton pun terdiri dari fitoplankton dan zooplankton dengan menggunakan stepwise, jadi sudah melalui step by step. Tetapi dari penelitian kami hanya temperatur yang signifikan. Sementara untuk fitoplankton, zooplankton, kemudian kecerahan, TSS, pH, DO, nitrit, nitrat, amonia, ini merupakan variabel yang tidak signifikan atau variabel yang dikeluarkan. Nah, ini fenomena ini ditarik lagi ke belakang, mengapa ternyata ketika dilihat kelimpahan itu stasiun energi rokok merupakan stasiun yang paling banyak ditemukan ikeoplankton. Nah, dilihat dari suhunya tadi, hanya kita coba menginikan ternyata aliran air yang masuk dari energi rokok itu merupakan air yang segar, kemudian dan kondisinya agak hangat dibanding dengan yang lain. Nah, inilah yang saya dapat simpulkan, energi rokok merupakan daerah spawning ground dari
water temperature, yes, indeed, is the most significant factor, but at a certain level. When it's increased, when it continue to increase, then it's not becoming significant factor. Okay, then Ibu Septi, please.
Based on the dominant analysis, Australaria has 1.89 value. It means that that value is more than one. Australaria has 0.89 dominance value. It means that more than 0.5. In dominant analysis, if the value more than 0.5, it means that alga has dominance. And then why Australaria can be indicator? Fisheries.
I have a question for you, Septi. I'm just wondering, based on your analysis using this approach, can you determine is the water around the Mariana Indonesia polluted water or not? To the speaker in another session. So before we close this session, please give applause to the speaker. Thank you very much for your attention. Now I bring back the time to answer.
Room, and we are going to have the formulation statement that will be chaired by Dr. Palembang.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The team who formulate the closing statement of the 4th International Conference on Inland Fisheries Palembang, September 2 until 4th, 2014. The members are Dr. Andi Taryoto, Dr. Bambang Setiadi, Profesor Dr. Lugianto Susanto, Profesor Dr. Murah Wiatnyana, Dr. Karim Gafar, Dr. Muflis Kamal, and Dr. Arif Ibo. The team tried to record all of the ideas, all of the message, all of the conclusion of your paper, and all of the issue coming from the floor. And we are working very hard until last night at 12 o'clock. And allow me to read what is the conclusion of the 4th International Conference on Inland Fisheries, Palembang, September 2 until 4/20/2014. There are 20 points, and let's start with this point number 1. The Agency for Marine Affairs and Fisheries Research and Development, through Research Institute for Inland Fisheries, has already conducted international conference on inland capture fisheries 4 times since 2008. Together with conference at the national level, there have been 11 conferences on inland capture fisheries since 2004. A couple of recommendations have already been launched through this important conference, and it is expected that the conference could be continued regularly in the coming year. Number 2, FAO indicated inland fisheries are vitally important to Southeast Asia and to the world in general. In 2020, a record of 11.6 million tons was reported by FAO as harvested from the world's inland fisheries. Asia accounts for 2/3 of all inland capture fishery production. Of the top 15 producing countries, 8 are in Asia, and 5 of these are in Southeast Asia. CIFDEC member states contribute more than 2.8 million tons to global production. However, this is thought to be a vast underestimation of the real production from inland capture fisheries in those CIFDEC countries member. Number 3 contributed 44% of the total production, Cambodia 19%, Indonesia 14%, Thailand 8%, Vietnam and Philippines 7% respectively, while the rest were shared by LAOPDR and Malaysia. The data show that inland fisheries activities are among the important sources of income and protein supply. Major characteristics of ASEAN inland fisheries are involving a large number of small-scale fisheries, including part-time and poach, to balance the development project and ecosystem function, mitigation measures to secure the ecosystem function, maximizing utilization of inland fisheries resources, and fisheries resources enhancement program and adaptation of inland fisheries to climate change. Number 6, in relation to inland fisheries production, it is raised 3 important issues: organic deposition of feces and uneaten feed, ammonia productions, and other factors such as genetics, invasive species, and drugs or chemical. The issues are mainly related to the fact that only 25 until 30% of feed fed to fish end up as harvested fish tissue, and the rest end up in the environment. It is therefore important for inland fisheries activities to consider these 3 concepts to lead to sustainable inland fisheries activities. Production carrying capacity, maximum aquaculture production, that does not have unacceptable impacts on the farm itself. And then ecological carrying capacity, maximum aquaculture productions that does not causes unacceptable impact to the ecosystem. And social carrying capacity, maximum aquaculture production that does not causes unacceptable impact to the social system. Number 7, toward sustainable inland aquaculture is connecting to the competition among stakeholders. Inland aquaculture is affected by many other sectors which might give more economic benefit. Initiating ecosystem approach to fisheries management, for example, will be beneficial on multi-stakeholder and different administrative level, and lesson learned from one country might be useful for the others through the regional cooperation. Number 8, relating to the coming ASEAN Economic Community 2050, there will be one market of inland fisheries as well as one production base. In addition, there will be stronger competition among users limited land and water resources. It is then required for ASEAN countries to be aware of the characteristics of inland capture fisheries to be linked with other related activities, challenges and opportunities for inland fisheries sustainability, developing cooperation for the sustainability, and deciding regional priority on each of the participating country, ASEAN, and CIFDEC activities may be of help of this regard. Number 9, tropical peatland is considered to be potential in supporting inland fisheries and aquaculture activities. With this regards, tropical peatland-based aquaculture has to be spatially arranged with landscape of the surrounding areas. Deep-rooted plantations using deep drainage canal will be conflicting as of the water management concern with aquaculture. Spatial planning is considered to be the key factor. Number 10, tropical peatland has a good potential for agriculture in rivers, lakes. Another important contribution in reducing carbon emissions due to its process that involves keeping the area wet or re-wetting, and as buffers limiting the spread of fire in peat. In addition, naturally contributes to the livelihood and income to communities around from the traditional fisheries, relying on the fluctuations in the movement of water or overflow of river water during the rainy season, November to March, by using trap in the form of an artificial ponds or special tools allowing fish to breed in the pond and later harvested during the dry seasons when the water recedes in April to October. Number 12, as a country with the world's largest reserve of tropical peatland, Beijing must be an important science asset in the strategy to reduce carbon emissions. And the target is not only Beijing, but returning the area to produce waste. Successful implementation of this scenario will be a great contribution to science to reduce carbon emission by rewetting methods. The science of rewetting in Indonesia will be a source of inspiration for the regions, especially in countries that have big reserves such as Malaysia, Thailand, Vietnam, and Papua New Guinea. It will also become a source of scientific data to be studied by universities and world experts on tropical peatland. Number 13, due to its closeness to the everyday activities of local communities in inland fisheries, are frequently characterized by local management applications, and in minor profits in Sumatra Islands, for example, Lubuk Larangan, forbidden stream pool, is applied consistently, and for a certain agreed period, fishing activities are forbidden in that Lubuk stream or stream pool. I'm sorry, I'm not expert on fish. When there are what you call it, term about fish. I'm sorry if I'm not clear to spell. I'm sorry about it. For a certain agreed period, fishing activities are forbidden in that Lubuk or stream pool. This is related to the nature of the stream pool as an ideal place for juvenile fish habitat. Specific efforts are needed to preserve these inland fisheries conservation practices. There is a strong indication that women are involved not only in post-harvest activity, but are also activities in harvesting fish and inland fisheries activities. Women are active in small-scale processing and marketing of fish. Both women and men consider fishing as men's work, but women are almost equally involved in fishing activities. Gender division of labor should be seen as dynamic rather than static issue. It is therefore important that women's activities are fully supported, so they will be able to continue to contribute in providing inexpensive but high quality protein to the country's poor. Number 15, satellite radar facility developed by Indonesia